welcome to the Monday morning edition of Mornings with Luann and Tim on TV. Certainly hope you had an awesome weekend.
Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. You look all spry and...
I'm fighting my way. I'm going to fight my way through this.
Yeah.
Luann, it was a long weekend, but boy, oh boy, what a great time.
Wow, you and Mamma Mia.
Sold out.
Awesome.
Yeah, great, amazing audiences, great response.
Sold out.
And the great news for the Musical Comedy Guild is that the budget for a show like this is about $90,000.
Okay.
So... But because of the ticket sales and the additional performance on the Sunday, looks like they hit about $150,000 in ticket sales.
Nice.
So there's about a $60,000 profit.
Gosh, that's so needed.
For a not-for-profit organization. The Comedy Guild also donates money back to the community, as well as most, I think like 90% of that budget is spent locally on sets, on like set construction and paints and...
Thank God they don't have to pay you a salary.
No,
You're so expensive.
I'm cheap.
But worth it.
I'm cheap, but I can be tricked. How are you? You're a little bit.
I'm feeling a little under the weather, but that's
Mama
okay.
has the chill.
Mama has the chill, so it can't be all that good. Thank
But we
you.
look
all
pretty
awesome
and purple.
today.
We didn't even call each other at home.
No, nothing. I tried to get in to see Mamma Mia.
You couldn't get a ticket.
Couple of times, too late.
That's a
good thing. Right?
It's a good thing for the Comedy Guild. It's a bad thing for people who wanted to see it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It was such a... I wouldn't be surprised if Mamma Mia were... Well, it's being redone, for heaven's sakes. You'll get to see it at Superior Heights with Anthony Acchetti and the gang. So if you missed it, go and see the Superior Heights version, because it's going to be... I mean, you can't go wrong with this show. It's just...
And you told me you were going to do a private show for me. Get everybody together and just do a
was that an... You wanted to... Oh.
Yeah.
I thought I was doing a private... Just me and you.
No, just me and the whole cast.
Oh, you want the whole cast?
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of pull. What did you do this weekend? What did you do?
I did some spring cleaning. I know it's November. I know.
Okay.
But I did. I did all the walls in my whole house.
Are you for real?
Yeah. And then...
Wait, how do you do it?
I just take a Swiffer and dust. I don't wash. But there's spiders.
I was going to be...
Yeah, well, if you don't do it, right, you go into the basement and, along the stairs at the bottom, if you haven't gone there enough, then there's little
You haven't gone there enough.
If there's not enough traffic there, well then...
You got spiders in your house?
No, I've never seen one. Knock on wood.
How do you spider webs? There must be spiders.
There must be spiders. I'm just saying I've never seen one. So I was cleaning that area just like I took the vacuum cleaner for like 10 minutes.
I thought you like what? You ever done that thing where like you take one of those Mr. Clean wipes?
Oh.
And you like wipe a part of your wall like in your kitchen and it's like, oh no, now that part of the wall is clean. I have to clean the whole wall to go along with it because it's so obvious when you're especially in the kitchen with grease and stuff.
Yeah, it's funny because Jim constantly bugs me because I dust the walls. He's like, I've never known anyone to do that. At the end of the day, I showed him the Swiffer and I said,
this is what's on our walls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's stuff. Thing I hate. There's stuff everywhere. Thing I hate though is the popcorn ceilings. Because then you go and you're trying to get right up to the edge and then all that stuff is falling on your face and into your bedding and everything else. So now you have to do the bedding and you have to vacuum and you have to dust the furniture. So that's what I did this weekend.
I'm glad I didn't spend the weekend at your house like 2 weeks ago because apparently it was a pigsty.
It was filthy.
She had cobwebs in her beds and stuff was falling off the ceilings and clumps.
And I hadn't even had that much wine. But it was happening.
You're a fan of Michael Bublé's.
I'm such a fan.
He says he has a new outlook on life. Now, when I read the headline, it said, I have a new outlook on life. I want to bring joy. And I thought, well, as opposed to the pain and suffering you've inflicted over the last... No, but really, to be serious, it's about his child.
Yes, he's been
diagnosed with cancer. His child had cancer.
Yeah, he was only 3 years old. And she's pregnant now with a little girl. He has two boys. And his oldest son was diagnosed and very, very serious cancer.
Is he okay?
He's good now, yeah.
I just read that headline and I kind of made a joke and then I look, there's the family. And then I scrolled down and saw why he said he has a new outlook on life. I was like, okay, that's not funny.
No, you know what? He took oh gosh, it had to have been close to a year off. The second it was announced, the second he was diagnosed, he said that's it. So now as he's coming back again, because he has a beautiful album out now, and it's called Love, there's an original piece on there as well as some of the standards that he's so good at doing. Right. Prior to that, there were so many rumors swirling around, you know, that he was going to retire, he was not going to go to do music anymore. And he said, I never lost music. He said, for me, it can't go away. But he said, it was just, I couldn't find it enough to bring it out because he was so devastated. That little boy was very, very sick. Oh. Yeah, so we're glad to have him back. Yeah, it's a good thing.
I only mentioned that because I knew that you were a fan. And
I love, he's on my bucket list.
I'm glad that you have, really?
And I don't mean just to watch. No, I'm kidding. I do. I do.
Maybe let's get a hold of him.
Yeah.
No,
I would love.
Maybe like you're a celebrity. Maybe he would.
Yeah.
Maybe you would get.
I bet he'd drop everything and just come and do on TV.
No, I meant you would go there.
I could do that.
You could go on and see a concert.
My word.
Really?
My word. If I ever got to interview him. My word.
Wait a minute.
He's my guy.
Didn't I see him here?
No.
He was never in Sault Ste. Marie?
No.
Did I see him in Toronto? I saw.
Yeah, he's toured a lot. You saw him?
Oh no, I saw Josh Groban.
Because they're the same? What? Stop it.
Josh Groban and Michael Bublé, not the same, but young, iconic vocalists, one Canadian, one American. Yeah. I saw Josh Groban at the Air Canada Centre in Toronto.
Was he amazing?
Well, he was amazing, and he's like, if he fell down the stairs, which right away, oh yes, right at the opening, he's coming down the stairs and he stumbled, and I thought, he's human. And then, so then he sang beautifully. Okay, sang right, and then all of a sudden, partway through the concert, this grand piano comes out on stage, and he sits down, and he says, and now I'm going to play a song that I wrote, and then he plays, and I'm like, you know what, I freaking hate your guts right now.
He can do everything.
He can, except walk downstairs.
And you can identify with that because you tripped in one of your
my big high heel boots.
Yes, there you go. That'll teach you to be rude to me. Your head's healing nicely, though. It's awesome.
I'm telling you.
I cannot believe how fast you heal.
It's not me, it's zinc. The stuff zinc oxide, the zinc cream, the stuff you put on your baby's bum.
Yeah, I was going to say it's good for diaper rash.
Yes, it's good for everything. I've always used it. Sunburns, whatever, if I'm scabbing. If you put zinc on and like slather it on, no scars.
I cannot believe how quickly he's healed. He smashed himself in the head with a guitar.
El Kabong!
During a rehearsal. He gets very intense about his work.
This says something. Ontario.
You can't even read your own writing.
Hockey game. I don't even. TMZ. Oh, I know.
Oh, he knows. Good.
Something ticked me off. And it's a stupid little thing, but it's always bothered me. When you read American news and stuff, like, okay, for instance, here's what happened. TMZ reported that Justin Bieber and what's her name, Haley?
Baldwin.
Yeah. They attended a hockey game together.
Yes.
Okay.
She got a big necklace.
From Justin?
From Justin.
Well, they went to a hockey game. Was it in Stratford? I don't know where it was. Stratford was playing opposite, I think, Hamilton, whatever. Okay, so there they are. TMZ reports that Justin Bieber and Haley, whatever, Baldwin, are went to a hockey game in Ontario, Canada.
Yeah.
Well, when would you ever say, well, you know, Justin Bieber was spotted with Haley Baldwin in Ohio, USA?
Yeah. They always do that.
We have always do that. State, city, province. It's not that hard to figure out.
I don't get it.
Well, because they're ignorant.
Yeah.
They're not educated about our geographical stuff.
I bet they could say it, though.
But they don't know that a province is Ontario like a state is Ohio.
Exactly.
And a city is Sault Ste. Marie or whatever. Or
they think we're this big or something.
I know.
Yeah, if you live in Ontario, you know everybody who lives in Ontario.
That happened in Ireland. We went to Ireland for my brother's wedding, and we were there for 3 weeks. And everywhere you went, it was like, oh, you're from Canada. Do you happen to know my friend so-and-so? He lives in Toronto. And it's like, oh, so-and-so lives in Alberta. It's like, well, do you understand that your country could fit in the province of Ontario like 3 times over? And then
we're a little bigger than you.
What's really weird is that on the last night that we were there, we were in this little village on our way back to Shannon, to where the airport was. The last night we stayed, and we're in this pub, and somebody says, "Oh, you're from Canada. Do you happen to know so-and-so? They're from Sault Ste. Marie."
No way.
Yes, I'm not kidding you.
Stop it.
And my sisters did know the person that they were talking about.
Holy moly. So there you have it.
The world is a small place, Luann.
It is a small little place.
I'm not wearing
Speaking of small, tell us about the show.
That was the worst thing
I
ever.
know.
Okay, it's hockey theme.
Hockey?
It's a hockey theme.
That's so natural for you.
I know. I've never skated. I don't skate. I've never held a hockey stick in my life. 50, how old am I?
56 now.
Never, thank you. Never occurred to me. I've never held a hockey stick in my hands on ice. I've never touched a hockey stick to a puck in my life until I went to the Hockey Canada Skills Academy. The ADSB is putting on, and I went and I watched what they do. It's incredible, and there I got on the ice. So
did you fall? Let's watch.
I never did fall, but so you'll watch. It's an amazing thing. You'll see it. There's a longer version of the interviews we're going to put up because we got so much great content.
Awesome.
For the morning show, we had to edit it. We're going to put it up eventually at some point where you get to see all the interviews with the youth and the coaches and the people. It's phenomenal. And then Frank Sarlo, author of Houndtown, is going to be on the show live.
Awesome. We're looking forward to it. I haven't seen him for a long time. So throw it to break now.
I will throw it to the break, and we're going to air the taped hockey segment from Hockey Canada Skills Academy. And then the news with Luann. Oh, and we're doing a giveaway for Builders Bash too.
Oh,
Don't go anywhere. It's a full morning on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
Feeling like a fish out of water, or I guess a fish on ice. And this is for the Hockey Canada Skills Academy, which is an initiative by the Algoma District School Board. And I showed up with my skates, because I do own skates, but the first thing that Joe Caruso, the vice principal at Flora Collegiate, he's one of the facilitators for this entire academy, he said they shouldn't be orange on the bottom. That's rust. That's how often I skate. It occurred to me as I left the studio, I was saying to Luann, I'm turned 56 this year, and I've never in my life touched a hockey stick to a puck. Ever. I've never actually been on the ice with a hockey stick. This is going to be interesting. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I wouldn't be able to walk this. I should have watched a hockey player do this, so I know. I mean, how can you can't possibly lay your skates on now, can you? Really? Okay, I'm going to try to stand up now. Hey, that wasn't bad. Last night I was wearing high heels, and today I'm wearing skates.
So we don't mess around at this hockey academy. They were just telling me, this guy here, how long did you play pro?
19 years.
Were you the one that played in Italy?
Yes.
19 years played pro in Italy. The other guy, what? How long did he play, the tall guy?
A long time.
Long time.
I'm not sure exactly,
and
but long time.
And the goalie guy, he's a professional coach for goalies.
Oh, for a long time also. He coached the Sioux Greyhounds for a long time, and the Saginaw Spirit and the Lake Superior State Lakers.
See that? I'm in good company. All right, you have to go do exercises now, right?
I actually have to do something.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll be over there now.
Okay.
Don't even understand why I'm doing this. am joined right now by Steve Caruso. Steve is the vice principal at Cora Collegiate. And is it sort of safe to say, Steve, that you're kind of a driving force behind the fact that Hockey Canada Skills Academy has come to Sault Ste. Marie?
I think my title is program administrator. I did all the background, I guess, work to get the accreditation and to put all the paperwork in. But the driving force behind is the people behind me that are my instructors. We have a great team assembled here, and they're what makes this academy what it is.
Now I'm talking with Sarah Fuchak. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
I want to thank you for helping me out on the ice there.
No worries.
You've been really supportive. And so you have a hockey background. Steve Caruso was saying that you're in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Tell me a little bit about that. Don't blush.
My team is actually in the Hockey Hall of Fame. I played in Elmira, New York, and my team won the national championship in the first year of existence there was ever a team. So we were inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Congratulations. When did you come back to Sault Ste. Marie?
2005 I graduated, came back, and then I started teaching in 2006.
And you're at which school? Superior Heights?
Superior Heights, yeah.
And right now behind us on the ice we've got Superior Heights, Cora, and White Pines represented?
Yes, all three schools.
So now you're a teacher. That's cool. What do you teach in the school system?
I'm an English teacher, but I also teach phys ed. Okay. So that's why this is perfect. This is the best job ever. So
I want to ask you a little bit about. It's obvious what the kids are getting out of this. What do you get out of this, Sarah? What does this do for you working with the youth on the ice like this?
This is pretty cool because I'm pretty passionate about hockey. I love hockey and I love teaching. So I get to do my two favorite things every single day, and I'm playing hockey every day.
Right.
And I'm also I get to meet kids from all three high schools, which I would never get otherwise. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm teaching kids from Cora and White Pines. So
it's been a phenomenal response. Our testimonials from parents and kids have been overwhelmingly supportive. And yes, we had a waiting list on both the intermediate and the secondary levels, but wanted to make sure that the numbers were conducive to learning, and the ratio of our on-ice and our on-ice instructors to participants was positive.
Okay, so right now I'm pretty excited because I'm talking to a future hockey star. This is Jared Cochamilio. Great story here. Jared, where do you live?
I live in Sault Ste. Marie right now, but my family lives in Toronto, Ontario.
He lives in Toronto, and so you came up here to join the Hockey Academy?
Yeah, I did. I think it's a great opportunity to improve my skills and work on my talents.
Yeah, and the connection with Hockey Canada is huge. I mean, that means a lot to people. I don't know from hockey so much, to be honest, Steve. I don't know if you could tell that from how I skate and the rust on my blades, but it is a big deal.
I think a lot of it is a big deal. When you see that crest, it's synonymous with professionalism, and you want to be associated with that professionalism and that crest, and even with our instructors, making sure that their backgrounds were in hockey and they were not just good hockey people, but good people to have interacting with students on the ice.
And do you figure that you're hoping that hockey will be a career for you in the future?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that's a dream of mine. So
that's the hockey goal.
Yep.
I kind of hope that happens too, because then I can say I knew him when I interviewed him. Okay, I'm gonna take a little break and let them keep doing stuff, and then when they break into stations, I'm gonna join them. So Dan, you just keep getting all the. You should see. There's how many did they say? Seven young ladies involved in this academy, I believe, as well as the 7 of them. This is grade 9 and 10. I should have come for the morning program with the grade 7s and 8s. Okay, joining me now at the boards is Brielle Caruso and Milana Perry. I got their names right. Okay, so how many years, Milana, have you been skating? All right, when did you start? Let's put it that way.
When I was 5.
You were 5 when you started? How about you?
I was 5.
Both 5 years old. How old are you now?
14.
And you?
15.
Okay. She's way better than you. Just kidding. This is the first year that Sault Ste. Marie has done this, has participated in the academy?
For the public board, this is the first year in existence, so we put our application in a couple years ago. We had.
I'm sorry, this is the first time the academy's ever been offered?
in Sault Ste. Marie, here on Superior had their academy last year. We put ours forward this year. We had our designation last year, but we wanted to make sure that the details of the program were top-notch in all areas before we launched it.
What school do you go to?
Cora.
You go to Cora. What about you?
Same.
Oh, your dad's the vice principal. Is that good or bad?
It's good.
Okay, let's get back to hockey. So, what do you like about this academy? What about the Hockey Canada Skills Academy? What do you like about it?
Well, I like how we get to come to the rink instead of going to school, and I get to work on all my individual skills, and I get a credit for it, which is awesome.
And then what about the civics part of it? Obviously, everybody enjoys playing on the ice. What about the classroom part of it that happens upstairs? Do you enjoy that as well?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to come here, go on the ice.
The guy that just scored a goal for an Olympic game just told me a little more practice, I'd be good to go. So there. I picked them. Oh! And speed!
Okay, so I
can't get over it.
I didn't even get to really I just saw the end of it. I never got to watch the finished piece. I didn't fall down.
You were flipping the puck around.
I touched a hockey stick to a puck
did well.
Listen, Frank Sarlo sitting right there watching us. Now, Frank Houndtown, he's the author of Houndtown.
And is Mr. Greyhound.
He's been associated with the Greyhounds for like 46 years. And here I am admitting that in my lifetime, I had never touched a hockey stick to a puck. How dare I even be Canadian? Wait a minute, have you?
Yes, I have.
Tell me.
We used to skate on the creeks, though, in Espanola, and I had 36
Did you call them creeks
cousin.
or cricks?
Creeks.
I thought down the line you said things like
36 first
crick.
cousins, right? So
you had what?
36 first cousins in Espanola, so we all played hockey, and there was enough to make two teams easily. I was an awesome goalie. Yeah,
really?
Seriously. I would come out of the crease. The crease. Thank you.
How did I know that?
Crease and just nail it.
Do you know that before I went to that Hockey Canada Skills Academy, I only thought that a crease was what you had in your pants? I did not. I just learned that this past week.
Yeah, it's all kinds of lingo.
I always said that if they made a skate where the blade was on the ankle, I'd be a great skater because I always skated with on the insides of my ankles.
That's why they do them up higher though, because it gives you support.
The boot.
Yes. That's why you get the boot.
It was a boot too.
That's why you get the boot.
So you actually played hockey?
I did. I mean, not like in a league or anything, because my parents couldn't afford that. But yeah, we played on all the time. Mm-hmm. And then my uncles started to make rinks in backyards and stuff like that. So yeah, I played hockey lots. No helmets or anything. Explains a lot. What do you have here?
Sorry. Yes, thanks for reminding me. Habitat for Humanity, they're
so awesome.
I've had Pauline Pennant on this show, and there was a new, I forget what her name is, but anyway, one of the new directors. They do such great stuff. They're on build number like 12 and 13 in Sault Ste. Marie, I think.
I remember build number 1.
So, if you don't know what they are, Habitat for Humanity, basically what they do is they find families who need housing, and there's probably the latest build. It's a duplex they're building right now. And so you put sweat equity and you put equity, you apply, they help you with a mortgage, they get like a 0% mortgage, it's crazy. Yes. But you end up, you pay the mortgage, you live in the house, but they help you.
And you have to work on
500 hours, I think, of sweat equity. Anyway, they do amazing things in the community, and they're having a big gala. It's the 3rd annual Builders Bash, and it's going to be Friday, November the 30th. Oh, that's this Friday.
Yes.
6 p.m. to 1 a.m. at the Grand Gardens. Delicious meal, live silent auction. Show off your gaming skills and compete to win in one of our amazing prizes. Dance the night away to classic rock and roll hits played by Fluid 5. Oh yeah, Fluid 5. And don't forget to capture the night with Red Velvet Photo Booth. $40 a person or a table of 10 for $375. You can go to Sue Online. Okay, anyway, it's going to be a great night. And tickets have been won because there was a draw.
Yes, on Sue Online.
Yes, on Sue Online. And so 67 entries. Number 59 was the lucky winner. Frank Fata.
Yay!
Frank Fata, you have won 2 tickets to the Builders Bash. And anybody else who's watching, if you want to go and have a great night on Friday, November the 30th, get your tickets for the Builders Bash. You'll have a great meal at Grand Gardens. Fabulous food.
And you know what? If you need to do a doggy bag and stop on your way home and bring it here,
that'd be fine.
We'll take that. Tim and I will eat that.
And all for a great cause.
Yes, absolutely.
Fun, party, Habitat for Humanity. And
coming up is news.
The news with you.
And then a really interesting conversation.
Frank Sarlo, the author of Houndtown. It's a hockey-themed day today.
Yes.
I have a history with Frank Sarlo.
And you have a history with ice skaters, too.
Not a good history.
No, because you were out there. I was, now you can actually
I can speak like a hockey pro.
Right. Yes. I said ice skater. I meant a hockey person.
Are you going to take us out because I started?
Yeah, I'm going to take you out, all right. Thanks so much for watching Mornings with Luann and Tim. Stay tuned. Frank Sarlo is up next with Tim.
The news.
Oh, the news first.
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim and Frank Sarlo. Frank, thanks for coming in today.
What?
You and I have known each other for a long time.
Yeah, since 1968, Tim.
That's when you worked on...
Your dad's campaign.
My dad's campaign.
Trudeau-mania in 1968.
You were there for all of that, right?
Yes.
Crazy times.
Yes. Actually, I organized all the events for the older Trudeau every time he came to Sault Ste. Marie.
You did?
Had a wonderful time. Loved him. You know,
I remember the one thing that impressed me about Prime Minister Trudeau was when my dad ran again later on. I remember the one time we met Trudeau at the airport in Sault Ste. Marie. My brother Sean wore his kilt, and Prime Minister Trudeau made a remark about the kilt, whatever. When he came back to the Sioux about 4 years later for the next campaign, he came off the plane and he met me, and I remember him saying to me, "Now you're not the one who was wearing the kilt, are you?" Yeah. He remembered that.
No, he remembered my name every time he came, which was absolutely amazing.
How long have you been a lawyer in Sault Ste. Marie? Well, you're retired now.
Yeah, I retired 10 years now, and I was a lawyer for 40 years. Yeah.
40 years, and your affiliation with the Greyhounds, which is, there's many reasons why I could talk to Frank forever and a day, but the reason you're here today is because of this book that you authored, Houndtown.
Yes, that was a lot of fun.
How many years have you been affiliated with the Greyhounds?
Since the beginning, actually, as their lawyer, and then
the beginning meaning what year, Frank?
Or 1972.
Okay.
And Frank Caputo and I acted for the team, and then we became owners a little later, and I was a director. So over all of the 47 years that the Hounds have been here, I've either been a lawyer, director, part-time owners, and still a director today.
You are still?
Excuse me, yes.
Now, and I've admitted that I'm not much of a hockey person, sadly. How do I... I admitted in that previous segment
that I had so many other talents then.
Well, thank you. You're kind. But I'm going to tell you, this really captured my interest. There were the inner workings of what goes on in leagues like
it's the Ontario Hockey League.
Ontario OHL. It's a business.
It is,
isn't it?
Definitely. You know, I think our budget is around $2.5 to $3 million. So it's really difficult in Sault Ste. Marie to operate a team because we're so far away from the other teams.
From the other teams.
But we have such a great city and such great fans that we're able to continue doing it.
One of the distance has been an issue in drafting. In the past, you've had players who have said it's too far away, they won't report, they won't show up when they've been drafted because they want to be closer to home. That's been a challenge, hasn't it?
It was. You know, The challenge is to get them here for the first time.
Right.
Once they're here,
they're hooked.
Then, even the parents, even though it's so far away, the parents love it here. They come in for games on the weekends, and we try to work with them to make it as easy as possible for them. And once they're here, they don't want to go away.
The players that have come through the ranks of the Greyhounds, and as I say, I'm not a big hockey person, but as I read this book, Frank, I was like, oh, I know that name, and I can remember actually hearing about the really amazing players while they were playing. Right. Not necessarily names that have gone on to, I mean, obviously there's the Gretzkys and there's
there's all Paul Coffey, Ronnie Francis.
Keep going. You could just go on and on.
Yeah, you can go on forever.
But there's other names that I just remember going, I remember when that guy was like a high scorer and he was like the all-rage of the Greyhounds. You know, these names come back to you. Yeah. This is more than just statistics, though.
Oh, we tried not to make it statistics. It's a number of stories.
It is.
And it tells the story right from the beginning and goes through by each general manager and the challenges that he had during that time period, and then the challenges of the team, and the necessity of change in every different time. And the latest change, everybody thought we were nuts when we hired Kyle Dubas. He was 25 years
when
old.
You hired him.
And we took a shellacking, but we understood that hockey had changed, and it was really important to get young people involved because we, as older owners, really didn't understand the change, and bringing the young people in, and it's been amazing because since Kyle took over to today with Kyle Raftis, who is also a young man.
Apparently, you can only work for the Greyhounds if your name is Kyle. But just kidding.
But since they've been here, the Sioux Greyhounds have been one of the two teams that have had the most people signed and drafted to the NHL of the 60 teams in the Canadian Hockey League, which is absolutely phenomenal for the size of our city.
And the other thing is how this city has rallied behind the Hounds. That's, I think, one of the most amazing parts of this book for me was reading about when we almost lost the team.
1989, and we had the Esposito group had owned the team, and they had it's impossible to run this team from outside the city, and they tried to do it, and they got themselves in all kinds of financial trouble.
Right.
So the only way for them to get out of it was to sell the team. Problem was we had drafted Eric Lindros, who was in everybody's eye going to be a superstar.
Right.
And he had played for CompuWare in Detroit. So Detroit came in and offered to pick up all of the debts of the team, which meant that it was $1 million, which was twice the value of the hockey team at the time. But thank God the year before we had changed the contract because there had been rumors that the team might leave.
Right.
Put a clause in the contract that actually I wrote with the city solicitor, and put it in, which gave anybody in the community 30 days to match any offer that was made if the team was going to be moved out of the city. So when it actually did happen, we had 30 days to raise double the value of a
hockey team.
And then you really have a tremendous community because everybody came together. We had the fans bought 3-year season tickets, which had never been done before.
I love the fact that that was the idea of Lisa Chinook, the daughter of George Chinook.
George rallied the
So Lisa said, hey, let's get some cash up front. Let's sell season tickets for 3 years in advance and get some cash flow happening.
And then our tremendous business community came forward, and they put up $600,000 in cash, and we borrowed $400,000. And on the last day, we were able to match the offer.
Like the clock was ticking.
It was.
The clock is ticking on us too, but don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick commercial break and come back. There's more we want to talk about because there's the book. We want to talk about the Lukendas, and I want to talk about your work with the Center for Social Justice. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Frank Sarlo, Houndtown, the author, and right after this, Morning with Luann and Tim. back in the studio with family friend and author Frank Sarlo, Dr. Frank Sarlo. Okay, so it wasn't enough for you that you had already had a career for 40 years as a lawyer. You became a doctor. What did you do?
Well, I was used to working 15 hours a day.
Yeah.
So I says, if I retire, what am I going to do? I have to do something. And I always loved community organizing. And I had been, as well as being a lawyer, involved in the community a lot. So I always thought that I'd like to go back and get a PhD.
And you
did a study in community organizing, which led me on to another career after.
Which we're going to talk about shortly.
Yeah.
But so wait a second. At what age did you become
66?
Frank?
It was funny. I did it in England. Okay, going back and forth to England, and I was not only older than all the students, I was older than all the professors.
But it was listen, you're about this far from being older than the Queen. Never mind.
Pretty well. Pretty well. I've been around a while.
The book, once again, this is not just stats, although there are a lot of statistics in here, a lot of information. And I wondered about you. Certainly, your memory alone couldn't have provided all of this information. You had some great assistance, right?
People don't realize what a tremendous facility our public library is. They have the microfiche back to the early 1900s, where you can go back and research every newspaper from
I could find out when Luann was born.
You can, and there'll probably be a big article about it. Right? So I hired two students, Adriano Brescasin and Taylor Jarling. Both of them are amazing.
I know Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor works for the university now, and she's an amazing young woman. And they, the three of us at the library, and the library taught us how to use all the equipment, and went through it. We photocopied every article for 44 years at the time.
Oh my gosh.
And then I took everything, my memory and the stories surrounding it.
And Frank, it's your memory that makes it more than just stats. It's your personal attachment to the team.
Yeah, because every story in there I was involved in one way or another.
Absolutely.
So it was I can't even express how much fun it was doing it. It was a joy. Actually, it was a great letdown when I finished.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, it's a work of love, obviously, and pride, and that's a huge part of the Greyhounds and the history with our city. Is that the community has stood behind the Greyhounds over all of these years, and we wouldn't have the team if it weren't for the fans.
And believe it or not, Tim, my biggest worry was to put out something that people would enjoy and that the team could be proud of. And from all of the reports of people that have read the book, we have an amazing community. People would come up to me all the time and actually thank me for writing the book. So it was a super experience.
HoundtownHockey.com, www.houndtownhockey.com. That's the website people can go to find out more information on the book and find out where to purchase the book.
Right, and you can always get it on Amazon.
On Amazon as well. Yeah. Now, we did want to mention, just last week, we lost May Lukenda.
Yes.
The matriarch, I guess you could say, of the Hounds, almost to a certain... Kathy Chinook. I just saw Kathy. You came to see Mamma Mia, and Kathy was there the same afternoon, and I saw Kathy afterwards, and I said, Kathy, I was just reading about you. She said, what are you talking about? I said, I read about when you dressed up like the Greyhound mascot. And she said, oh my gosh. In Seattle. But, so Kathy certainly has been the wife of Dr. George Chinook. Your wife, Laura, has been a Hound fan, and May Lukenda was married to Dr. Lou Lukenda, who was an owner, right?
Yeah, well, the Lukenda family owned the majority shares in the Greyhound. Right. Still owned by a large group of people in the community, but they have the majority. So I've had the honor to work with Dr. Lou and May for many, many years.
And May just passed last week, and the huge affection for the team. I mean,
and the team a great affection for Lou. You'll notice all last year they wore the tag Dr. Lou.
Did they?
In black in memory of Dr. Lou. People in the community know that they were philanthropists, but they really don't know the number of things that they did for our community.
And that they continue to do through
the foundation that was set up as the Lou and May Foundation.
Absolutely.
And you were talking about the Habitat for Humanity.
Yes.
Dr. Lou very quietly often would buy the land for them to build.
Let's talk a little bit about now your work in social justice. I mean, as talking about philanthropy.
Yeah, you and I were involved. Remember when we started the Grotto?
Yeah.
In doing it. Well, because that didn't didn't get off the ground. It was thought to be more religious than the intention of us doing things. But as it turned out, the pastor at Precious Blood, Father Hamish Curry, called me to join a group of people that were putting things together and wanted to save the history of it and build a grotto at Precious Blood, which is almost finished now, and it's going to be a phenomenal asset to our
Justice
city.
Is now located
it was
in the
part
old
of
convent.
That. Yeah, we the church purchased the convent, and we moved in and carrying on learning and training sessions. We started a recreation program in the 5 marginalized areas in the city for young people to come out, and we're teaching leadership courses and that. And we have a really great project just started. We have an executive director, Christine Couture, who is a very special person and committed, has such empathy to the people that we're working with. And I'll talk to you later about a huge project that we're working on.
I want to have you back on with Christina, actually.
Great. That'd be wonderful.
Our time was up for today, but this has been Frank Sarlo. The book is Houndtown, and not only a dear friend, but a great author. And thank you so much for your time today.
That.
We'll see you again, Frank. Okay, we'll be back to say goodbye with Luann after this.
He's such an underachiever, that Mr. Frank Sarlo, huh?
I know. He's done nothing with his life.
Oh my gosh, he's so ambitious. And what a great record to have of the Hounds history. And
nothing has been done of that sort ever, as far as the team goes.
Want to do this again tomorrow?
Okay.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow too.
Please tune in. We need friends.
Yeah, we need friends,
we'll see
especially
you tomorrow
him.
On TV, Mornings with Luann and Tim. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching.